Hi there, it's Jennifer McGuire from Hero Arts. Hero Arts and Sizzix have recently teamed up to bring some great products for stampers. These products include stamps with dies and stamps with embossing folders, and all the cards created here were done using these products. This video is just going to show you a real quick how-to with all these different products, and I'm going to start out with the stamps and die combos. Here are a couple of the combos. You can see on the bottom are the cling stamps, and on the top are the dies that are in the set to go with these cling stamps. So let's take a closer look at one of the sets. You can see here, this is one of my favorites. There's lots of flowers and greetings on here, and you have the matching dies to go with each of the images. Now what's nice is these are cling stamps, so you're going to always get a really good stamped image because of the rubber on the stamp. And another thing about these cling stamps I like is this material clings very well to an acrylic mount, so it makes stamping very easy to do. Now let's take a closer look at the dies themselves. These dies are unique in that the cutting edge is actually right up against the inside of the die. So if you look closely, you'll see that sharp cutting edge right on the inside edge, right there, so that when we go to line this die up over a stamped image, we're going to know exactly where it cuts because it's along the inside edge, which makes it really unique and great for the stamp and die cutting combo. So you can see in the set there are dies for each of the images, along with a couple extra to make some fun layering, which I'll show you in a moment. So let's go ahead and do some stamping and die cutting. So I have one of the cling images here, and I'm going to ink it up with some chalk inks. I'm using the Hero Arts Grass Chalk ink and the Hero Arts Punch Chalk ink, which are the green and the red. And I'm just going to stamp it onto some white cardstock. And by the way, since these are cling stamps, it's great because you can do a lot of fun inking techniques or stamp with paint or whatever you'd like. So the cling stamps are a great advantage. Then I'm going to stamp a couple of these other flowers so I can show you some of the layering dies that are included in this set. So now check out how easy it is to die cut these. You just take the die, line it right up over. The inside edge of the die lines up with the outside edge of the stamped image. Look how easy that is to do. Now you could just lay it here and run it through your die cut machine, but what I like to do is take a little sticky note. You could use masking tape, a little piece of tape, anything you want, but I'm just using a little sticky note. I get the inexpensive ones. I put my die where I like it, and I put that there so that I don't have to worry about it shifting. Now the fun thing about this is you can line up many dies at once and die cut them all at the same time. Now you can use your die cut machine for this. I like to use the Big Shot or the Vagabond to do this, and it cuts really nicely. And now look I have this little die that's included in the set to cut out the inside of this flower so I can do some layering. So now that I have my dies lined up, I'm just going to put on the top plate, cut these how I would any dies like this, and you'll have a perfect cut every time. So now I'll just remove the little sticky notes, and there I have die cut flowers. So they just pop right out, and you can see since the cutting edge was right on the inside of the die, I easily lined it up and I got a perfect cut. And this one's one of my favorite. That would be really hard to cut by hand. And now you can see this little flower can line up with the inside of the big flower. And here are those cards again. You can see some die cut butterflies, some other die cut flowers, the die cut greetings, the little reindeer, and the tree. Lots of fun pieces that you can create with these stamps and dies. And check out this flower up here on the top right, the blue and green one. Look how detailed that one is. But by stamping it and then using the matching die, which you see right next to the card, you don't have to worry about hand cutting. The other type of product we have to offer is the stamp and embossing folder combo, and you can see how they come packaged together here. It's a large cling background stamp and embossing folder. So here we have one of the example sets. I love this one. There's lots of great techniques you can do with it. And the embossing folder works like any other, where you just put the paper in, run it through your die cut machine, and you'll end up with embossed paper. So I have this cling background. It clings quite nicely, so you could stick this to an acrylic mount if you want and stamp as you normally would. Or you can do what I do, which is to just leave the stamp on the table, ink it up, and lay the paper on top. But either option works. I'm just using a soft leaf shadow ink from Hero Arts, and I'm just going to ink it up and then lay my paper right over it, and then I'm just going to rub around to transfer the ink. You could do all kinds of fun distress ink techniques with this, anything you want, anything goes. So now I've got this stamped image. I'm going to grab my die cutting machine. Again, I'm using my Big Shot. Vagabond works excellent too. I'm just going to put the piece right into my embossing folder and watch. Let me get it lined up here. You'll see how easy it is to see through the die to line it up so that there's a nice little trim around all of the stamped image. It's quick and easy to do. You could do this on the front of a note card because of the way we have our embossing folder designed. You can put it right on the front of a note card if you'd like. Run it through your die cutting machine and you have a nice embossed stamp image. Isn't that beautiful? The nice little shadow that you create with that raised area is just gorgeous. Now I wanted to show you another fun technique you could do with this real quickly. I have this embossing folder. Now before I close it, on the side with all the raised background, I'm going to rub some of the soft pull shadow ink from Hero Arts. This is called a faux letterpress technique, and I just think it looks really neat when combined with the stamped image also. So I'm just rubbing some soft pull ink on the front of this embossing folder, and you can kind of see that the blue is just on the raised background. Now I'm going to carefully line in my stamped image. Remember, since it's see-through and we've already stamped, it's quite easy to see and do. So I'm just going to put this right in here. I'll show you it when I'm done, and I'll close it up. There we have it. And when I close it up, you'll see where there is the embossing right around the stamped image. So I put it in my embossing or my die cutting machine, run it right through, and this will push all that blue ink into the background. Now this is splotchy at first. You'll see it's kind of splotchy back there, but that's because it's a dye ink, and you'll see here that it dries nicely and absorbs into the background. So again, you got the stamped image on all the raised area. Just a fun technique that you can do with this. There are tons of great techniques. So I thought I'd show you a few more of the combos. This one's great for holidays. Great flourish and holly background with the matching embossing folder. And here's another great one. This is unique in that you first stamp all of that image and then just the flowers and the word and the butterfly are raised. So only portions are actually embossed, which really makes for great cards such as this one here. So I hope you enjoy getting a little peek at all these new Hero Arts Sizzix products, and be sure to watch the Hero Arts blog for more ideas using them. Thanks for watching.